if you're talking in the library, shh, in a movie theater or church. Sometimes there's no one around you to tell you to be quiet, to be very, very quiet. Sometimes you need to be quiet when you're all alone, like me, right now. Shh. For example, you'd better be quiet, extremely quiet, if you're going to be a peeping Tom, because what if they heard? What if I found out? Guess what, Tyler Down? I found out. Everyone else on these tapes so far must feel a little relieved. They came off as liars or jerks or insecure people lashing out at others. But your story, Tyler, it's kind of creepy. And I feel a little creepy telling it, too. Why? Because I'm trying to get closer to you, Tyler. I'm trying to understand the excitement of staring through someone's bedroom window, watching someone who doesn't know they're being watched. Trying to catch them in the act of. What were you trying to catch me in the act of, Tyler? And were you disappointed? Or pleasantly surprised? Okay, a show of hands, please. Who knows where I am? Who knows where I'm standing right now? If you said outside Tyler's window, you're right. Tyler's not home right now, but his parents are. And I really hope they don't come outside. Fortunately, there's a tall, thick bush just below his window, similar to my own window, so I'm feeling pretty safe. How are you feeling, Tyler? There's a meeting of the yearbook staff tonight, which I know involves a lot of pizza and gossip, so I know you won't be home until after it gets all nice and dark, which, as an amateur peeping Tom, I appreciate very much. So thank you, Tyler. Thanks for making this so easy. Let's take a peek inside before you get home, shall we? The hallway light's on so I can see in pretty well. And yes, I see exactly what I expected. There's a bunch of camera equipment lying around. You've got quite a collection here, Tyler. A lens for every occasion. I know, I can hear you now. Those are for the yearbook, Hannah. I'm the student life photographer. And I'm sure that's why your parents are fine spending that kind of cash. But is that the only way you use this stuff? Candid shots of the student body? Yes. Candid shots of the student body. Before coming out here, I took the initiative to look up candid in the dictionary. It's one of those words with many definitions, but there's one that's most appropriate. And here it is, memorized for your pleasure. Relating to photography of subjects acting naturally or spontaneously without being posed. So tell me, Tyler, those nights you stood outside my window, was I spontaneous enough for you? Did you catch me in all my natural, unposed... Wait, did you hear that? A car coming up the road. Is it you, Tyler? It sure is getting close. And there are the headlights. My heart definitely thinks it's you. My God, it's pounding. The car turns up the driveway. It's you, Tyler, it's you. You haven't stopped the engine, so I'm going to keep talking. And yes, this is exciting. I can definitely see the thrill. Okay, listeners, ready? Car door and shh. Okay, Tyler, here's the play-by-play. You're inside the house with the door shut. You're either checking in with Mom and Dad, saying everything went great and this is going to be the best yearbook ever, or they didn't buy enough pizza and you're going straight for the kitchen. As we wait, I'm going to go back and tell everyone how this all began. And if I'm wrong with the timeline, Tyler, find the other people on these tapes and let them know that you started peeping way before I caught you. You'll do that, right? All of you? You'll fill in the gaps? Because every story I'm telling leaves so many unanswered questions. For example, how long were you stalking me, Tyler? How did you know my parents were out that week? Okay, confession time. The rule around my house when the parents are away is that I'm not allowed to date. Their feeling, though they won't bring themselves to say it, is that I might enjoy the date too much and ask the boy to come inside. In previous stories, I told you that the rumors you've all heard about me weren't true, and they're not, but I never claimed to be a goody two-shoes. I did go out when my parents weren't home, but only because I could stay out as long as I wanted. And as you know, Tyler, on the night this all began, the boy I went out with walked me all the way to my front door. He stood there while I pulled out my keys to unlock the door. Then he left. Were you hoping I'd invite the guy in, or would that have made you jealous? Either way, after I went inside, alone, I washed my face and brushed my teeth. And the moment I stepped into my room, click. We all know the sound a camera makes when it snaps a picture. Even some of the digitals do it for nostalgia's sake. And I always keep my window open about an inch or two to let in fresh air, which is how I knew someone was standing outside. But I denied it. It was way too creepy to admit to myself on the very first night of my parents' vacation. I was only freaking myself out. Still, I wasn't dumb enough to change in front of the window, so I sat down on my bed. Click. Or maybe it wasn't a click, I told myself. Maybe it was a creak. My bed has a wooden frame that creaks a little. That was it. It had to be a creak. I pulled the blankets over my body and undressed beneath them. Then I put on my pajamas, doing everything as slowly as possible, afraid whoever was outside might snap another picture. After all, I wasn't totally sure what a peeping Tom got off on. But wait, another picture would prove he was there, right? Then I could call the police and... But the truth is, I don't know what to hope for. My parents weren't home. I was alone. I figured ignoring him was my best option. And even though he was outside, I was too afraid of what might happen if I saw him reaching for the phone. Stupid? Yes. But did it make sense? Yes, at the time. So why was it so easy for Tyler to see into my room to begin with? Is that what you're asking? Do I always sleep with my shades wide open? Good question, victim blamers, but it wasn't that easy. When my dad found out I kept the blinds open, even a crack, he walked out to the sidewalk to make sure no one could see me from the street, and they couldn't. So he walked from the sidewalk straight across the yard up to my window. And what did he find? That unless you were pretty tall and standing right outside my window on their tiptoes, I was invisible. So how long did you stand like that, Tyler? It must have been pretty uncomfortable. And if you're willing to go through all that trouble just to get a peek at me, I hope you got at least something out of it. Had I known it was Tyler at the time, had I snuck under the blinds and looked up to see his face, I would have run outside and embarrassed the hell out of him. In fact, that brings up the most interesting part of... Wait, here you come. We'll save that story for later. Let me describe Tyler's window for the rest of you. The shades are all the way down, yet I can see in. Like Tyler, I can reach a fairly wide open gap and see in. Maybe I should warn him, give him a chance to hide, to undress underneath the covers. Maybe I should tap on the window, or pound or kick on the wall. Maybe I should give him the same paranoia he gave me. After all, that's why I'm here, right? Revenge? No. Revenge would have been fun. Revenge, in a twisted way, would have given me some sense of satisfaction. But this, standing outside Tyler's window, satisfies nothing. My mind is made up. So why? Why am I here? Well, what have I said? I just said I'm not here for me. And if you pass the tapes on, no one but those of you on the list will ever hear what I'm saying. So why am I here? I'm not here to watch you, Tyler. Calm down. I don't care what you're doing. In fact, I'm not even watching you right now. My back's against the wall and I'm staring at the street. This dark and empty street. He just doesn't know I'm here, yet.